What's shaking out there, everybody? It's Thursday, the 24th. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, we are here. This past Sunday was Father's Day, of course. Everybody knows that. But anyway, my son Tommy made this for me. It's a little. He sowed it by hand. It's a little plant in a smart pot. Well, not smart pot, that's a brand name, but in a fabric pot. It actually, check this out, it actually grows. It actually pulls out. Check that out. Also, you open this up, even added roots to it. Little root hairs. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, they all got me a couple of hats. Got a hat from the guy who, one of the crew who helped bring around, get this back in here, who helped bring around the TK Kush, Triangle Kush and OG Kush. So they got me this hat, and I got another one from Bigot and Boone Farm out of Kentucky. Everybody knows about them, of course. If you don't, look up Cornbread Mafia. You can see the story of everything those guys grew and did, and allegedly. But anyway, yeah, so we haven't been really doing a whole hell of a lot. We're staying busy, staying steady. Things have slowed down a little bit. We're doing this. I've been making a few videos. Me and Tommy did the one on his soil that he's making. But we've been doing this comparison grow with the same tomatoes and all that in the same size pot, but we got the for those who haven't seen those couple of videos, the little video series we've got the Back to Roots organic soil, and we've got Whitney Farms, which I didn't know at the time when I did it was actually owned by Miracle Grow. But anyway, we're doing it, and the Miracle Grow plant is actually, it bloomed first, and with the heat that we've had here, that's been all crazy and up and down, and off and on rain like crazy. Actually, it's been pretty nice, but except for the heat. But yeah, so I got some blossom and rana on the few tomatoes that are on the actual Whitney Farms plant. So, and I've already added some all-purpose, some organic all-purpose to it. I think it was some Happy Frog, and I've added, of course, calcium, some oyster shell and stuff. So I'm gonna have to baby those a little better, be more consistent with the watering. But either which way, I'm gonna not really document it anymore. Just gonna basically save the plants, because the ones I've got in recycled soil and in a mixture of both of the soils together are doing fantastic. They look great. A lot more lush, a lot more branches. Let me check this security camera. The dog's freaking out. Anyway, she's getting old. She's senile. But yeah, that's what's going on here. Still trying to find a couple of pallets of soil. We usually buy Roots Organic or Ocean Forest for our base mix to make our soils, and haven't been pot to find them at a decent rate, decent price. So we'll probably go back to a coots base, the sphagnum peat and some compost and either rice hulls or vermiculite, whatever, aeration. I got tons of perlite. I probably got 50 plus pounds of that stuff. But yeah, so other than that, we're still seeing prices rise and some ingredients and stuff. So there's that. Inflation's starting to hit a little bit of everything. I don't know if you've noticed it or not, but your packages are getting smaller. If the price is not getting adjusted, the packages are at least getting smaller, and pretty much everything. But the other thing, I guess Phylos, I put a little post out on this the other day. I guess Phylos is no longer, after a certain amount, I guess they're going to honor so many tests that you've bought to do their genetic testing and stuff. but they're no longer going to do it. Why, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Phylos fan myself, and it's not because they're competition, because they've been around a while. We're just a small little family outfit, and we don't do the extent of stuff they do. We try to keep it simple. I stay in my lane. But anyway, yeah, not being a real fan of theirs, but they got the Galaxy, and where everybody's stuff was getting put into the database, which some of them did it knowingly and stuff. But there's some conspiracy stuff. I hate using that word, but there's some speculation that, of course, they're going to patent it and going to be the Monsanto of cannabis or whatever. Either which way, like I said, I'm not a fan, but I guess they're going to stop the genetic testing. For what reason, I don't know. One other company was having false positives, and they were saying that it was a computer error or software issue, which that could be the case. I don't know. But there is tests that you run on your computer, and it runs the thermocycler through the process to double check your equipment and make sure it's running. And if the program tells you it works, then there is no problems, it's found. So I don't understand how it would be a computer failure unless somebody did something in a lab and they're just saying it's a computer failure. I mean, you're basically putting a sample into the lysis process, and the thermocycler heats it, cools it, heats it, cools it for a specific amount of times, and then it extracts the DNA from that, and then you take that and mix it with the solution, and then you put it through the thermocycler again, and blah blah blah. But so I don't know about the software issue. I mean, it could happen, but I think you would catch something like that. But anyway, yeah, we keep it small, and any questionable stuff I have that I found on some tests, I run it twice, and it basically what it leans more towards, because it's a color-coded thing. Once it's gone through both processes, once it leans, what the two samples that I take, if they lean towards a male or towards a female, that's what I put down. But in the future, I think what I'm going to do is just basically put it like I think Farmer Freeman or Farmer Frenzy, whatever, he's a good guy. I think he puts it as under review or under watch, some sort of thing like that. I'm not real sure, but I'm going to do that instead of saying it. Both tests I took is leaning towards this way, because it also not only costs me money, to run the test twice. It's just I just need to put it out there that it's either, it could be either this, because I've had a couple that were borderline, and I let them sit, I let them cool like the instructions say, and then I look at them even later on, like later that day or at night, and they're still leaning the way they're leaning. So that's what I put out there. I haven't had no complaints yet, but I'm just saying I'm going to be a little more clear and just let people know that, yeah, this one's leaning towards male or female, but keep an eye on it. Because the company that makes the software and the chemicals, they say it's 100% technology, but me, I mean, I do believe Jeremy at Build a Soil did have an issue with somebody he used. One of the plants was wrong. Now, again, I don't know if that's testing or the environment or switched it over, because I don't, right now, they are working on it, but it does not detect termies. But if you've done the test twice and it's, I don't know, but that's something that they're working on. But with anything, when it comes to people working on things and men developing equipment and this and that, I think anything, to say anything's 100%, I don't know. I think just human error and flaws could be in there, besides equipment failure. But I would say it's definitely a 98.5% accurate, at least in my experience, and nobody's complained yet. And I really wish, if anybody does have any issues, just get a hold of me, and because I do hold the sample for like a few days, 10 days, and I'll be glad to run it again. If you're not happy with or you want to just double check, I'll even run it again. But alright, enough with that. The whole Phylos thing, you can check it out. You can check out the Galaxy. I don't know if they really improved it since the last time I looked at it. It's kind of confusing, but it is interesting. The DJ Short Blueberry and the Flow. That is this is not new news. It's been out there for a while. It's actually hemp. They've looked back and they've seen that some of the hybrids, some of the things that were used to create it, both of those were hemp. And I guess somebody, Flanville, I do believe, on Instagram, he cited where he saw or read where DJ admits that he lost the original parents. So this is what he did to get close to it. And I guess that blue and that pretty those pretty colors and stuff, they come off of the hemp side of it. But anyway, I've got 2 packs of his Flow F5s. I've got a pack of Blueberry F5s. The first pack I did let soak, did it standard way. I do all seeds, and they did not crack. I had 2 crack, and once they came through the soil, one made it, one mutated and died. The other one still was a mutant, but it came out pretty decent. It was looking nice, and then of course it was a male, and that was before we started doing the sex testing, so I would have checked that. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting, and just check out, you can check out the Galaxy. I mean, ain't hurting nothing by doing some research and seeing everything. I would like to see it more towards not necessarily where it came from, but I don't know, more of regional stuff and what came out of there, like put a world map. But anyway, that's my idea, and I don't have the money to make that idea come true. But yeah, so that's that on the genetic side of it, and all that lovely stuff. I guess come July 1st, Virginia, they're allowed to grow. I guess they went recreational, so they're allowed to grow there. I've noticed in a lot of the forums, people asking questions and want to learn how to grow their own, which that's really awesome. But that's very entertaining. I don't know how many of you, I'm sure a lot of you are check out these Facebook groups, and it's not like Icy Mag and roll it up in these forums that have been around for a while. But it is definitely entertaining to see the things that people do to their plants. And to each his own. If it works for you, and you like the end result, it's not up to anybody else to poo-poo your idea. But it is the atmosphere. I mean, people are so cutthroat, and I could see why people can get steered in the wrong direction, or would want to not even ask a question because of the interactions with people on social media. I mean, there's one the other day was, "Oh my God, you pee on your plants." Some guy said he uses urine, and yeah, the guy did say he peed on his plants. I mean, it was that in the post, but of course he diluted it and all that nonsense. But but it's just people, civilization and ancient cultures have been using human urine for a while, and even humanure. I mean, I wouldn't do the humanure end of it. I mean, urine is a great source of nitrogen, but I wouldn't do the humanure side of it. Of course, it needs to be composted for a long time, but with the diets and everything, and all the prescriptions, and I would stay away from that part. There's plenty of animal manures and things to use, worm castings. I can't say it enough, how important it is to compost and start your worm bin. But yeah, so Virginia, July 1st, they got it going on for them. Connecticut also, just a couple days ago, I think within the last 48 hours, they've legalized adult use. That starts July 1st. and they're allowing 3 small plants, 3 mature plants. But that doesn't go in effect till 2023, so I don't understand that. You can, you're allowed to have it instant access, but you can't legally grow it till the 23rd. I mean, if I had my way, nobody should really need permission to grow a plant. But it is what it is. Louisiana just added smokable flower to their medical program, which I tell you what, I'm from the South, as I always said, Florida. I'm really surprised that some of these southern states have jumped on as quick as they have. I mean, I'm obviously all for it, and it's fantastic. And who is a couple other states? I don't know. I guess the Mississippi thing that's being challenged. I'm not real sure. There's just a few of the things I seen while surfing the internet and going through YouTube and checking out cannabis news and all that kind of stuff. I did see where the Florida Supreme Court threw out any chance of getting the recreational on their ballot for 2022. I did see that, and that's I wouldn't expect anything else. And the reason why is, you look at True Leaf. They just opened their 85th store, I do believe, today. That was in Winter Park. And now they've branched off into Arizona. Being a Canadian company, they're not even a Florida company. Nothing against Canadians, but it'd been nice to see some Florida farmers benefit more from that. Quite a few did, sell out to a lot of these people up there. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. But yeah, the True Leaf thing is something else. They were at store 48 when we moved at the end of May and of March. I mean, in 2020, they were at their 48th store, and here they are at their 85th store. And Arizona, I guess they're branching out into Arizona. And with the Missouri, I guess the Missouri, whoever's in charge of the licensing and all that, I guess they've waived or are considering waiving the requirement that you got to be a resident to get a dispensary license or license to grow or whatever. So yeah, that'll just open up the door for companies like True Leaf and everything to expand their brand. And well, everybody's just saying, oh, don't worry about dispensary prices, it'll get cheaper as more people open up and it becomes more available and there's more farms doing it. Well, I can tell you this, with True Leaf and their 85th store, you can also look and just follow them. It's like a new product every week, and I'm not talking about a new varietal, new strain. I'm talking about, this little vaporizer is better than this one, and there's this True Clear, and there's blah, blah, blah. It's nothing but pimping more products, and prices haven't come down one bit. They did start a couple of locations started where you can take in your plastic containers and recycle them. I did like that idea, and wouldn't you know, that didn't last long, a couple of months. They poo-pooed that. And so it's nothing but, product, and profits. It's not about patience. That's why, they're going to delay. They're going to delay rec there. They're going to never, in my opinion, Florida will never give the people the right to grow their own. I just don't see it happening. Minnesota, I guess there's some stuff up there. That's it's my wife's home state, and there's some stuff going on up in there. So we're hoping I think that's a rec bill up there, and I do believe there's a home grow in that. I'm not real sure. That's another thing I got to look up on. This is all stuff I just seen in passing, and like I said, here on YouTube. But all right, yeah. And I was just found out today, I guess Arizona's got a recall going on. It was voluntary at first, and I guess now it's in full effect. So Arizona and True Leaf should get along fine, because they've slung plenty of moldy weed in Florida to the patients. But yeah, the recall there is some flower products. It's one of the companies is Harvest Platinum. Their 14-gram pre-pack indica. Their glazed apricot gelato strain. And then they also got the Harvest Platinum 14 pre-pack sativa, their Tiger Haze. That's on recall. Another one is Modern Flower. That's 3.5 gram indicas of their orange acai, or acai, whatever you want to call it. I call it acai. Then there's the Soul Flower Dispensary. Their Tahiti Lime. I guess all this is over mold, salmonella, and I don't know, aspergillus or something. I don't know. But you can, like I said, Google that. And another one is Elephant Farms Hat Trick number 17, their flower. And then there's Mojave Cannabis, which does pre-rolls. And then there's the True Infusion, which is another company. Their flower of their caked up cherries has also been recalled. So, another reason to grow your own. And I guess the reason why some of these things are coming back is because the same thing that I keep hearing here on social media in Missouri is, as everything, the things begin to open up and things expand, the testing parameters will change and there'll be more tests and blah, 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 blah. But whatever. I mean, bottom line is you should be able to take control of your own health, your own plants, and be able to grow it for pennies on the dollar instead of these people with deep pockets. These companies with deep pockets are allowed to come in and buy up everything and make it practically impossible. And when they come in, they also sign all these nice little deals with these synthetic salt fertilizer companies that set them up and for pennies on the dollar, and they go in there and they're promising all these huge yields, and then they go through 5 or 6 consultants, and their product's still moldy and no changes are ever really made. But whatever, that's just it's just something with my experience. I don't want to sound too bitter, being an old fart. But yeah, that's basically it. Anything else more exciting going on in the cannabis thing? Not really. I mean, the whole social media thing, I'm telling you, if you're bored, check out some of these Facebook groups. Check out some of the responses and some of the things, and it is quite entertaining. And of course, you get the same guys. Hey, PM me. Don't you want to buy some weed? Don't you want to wait? It's like, dude, you're in a grow group. But yeah, it's just it's definitely comic relief. Not a lot of positivity in there. Everybody's everybody's a master grower, and everybody's absolutely perfect. And if you tell them an easier way, a way to save money, they just for some reason don't want to save money. They'd rather argue with you and support these big companies that'll always got a product for you to you can buy their whole entire line, and then wouldn't you know, we got another product to fix that. But whatever, to each his own. Like I said before, those companies, all those feeding regiments and feeding charts, those are all based on using the huge lights and these bigger facilities, not really tailored to the home growers. So there's that, but they make plenty of money from the home growers, and that is another thing. That's another thing I've seen. We've got this thing going on where, all right, there's the division, like I pointed out, with organics versus synthetic salts. Then you've got there's the tent grower and the basement dweller that grows, and your opinion and what you know doesn't mean a damn thing, because I run a big facility and I do this and I do that. Which, hey, that's great, to each his own. If your goal is to run a big facility, more power to you. But this whole thing that, these old people and these boomer generations, and their opinion don't matter because of, they're just a small grower, or they grow in a tent. But here's the thing. Before this was mainstream and before this was legal, most of the strains that have built your companies today were kept around by the tent growers, by the guys who hid in the dark shadows of the woods, and risk going to jail to keep these cultivars around and keep them alive. And now here we are. Everybody's capitalized on it and are feeding their families, which I'm all for it. Like I said, that's fantastic. But you turn around and really forget that it was the nobodies that were in the closets that kept things going. If it wasn't for those people, man, you wouldn't have a lot of what you have today. But that's changing too. You've got these genetic companies and seed guys that are popping up left and right, and they're slinging all these copies and all these unstable genetics, and so you got the gene pool getting filtered down, and you've got old school knowledge and old school genetics, and that are of course put on the back burner. But again, don't want to sound like a bitter guy, because I'm happy where I'm at in life. Everybody's got regrets, but my goal is not to be some big blown out facility growing a bunch of stuff. I just want to help facilities like that learn that there's easier and cleaner ways to produce top quality medicine. I mean, you can only be as organic as you can. I mean, you can copy and mimic nature as much as possible in your container with your artificial light indoors. But the bottom line is, you're really not gonna understand and get the same results of an outdoor living soil system because of the simple fact the soil's not going through the change of seasons and the temperature changes and the occasional small herd animals and stuff going through your fields or whatever. You know what I'm saying. There's only so much mimicking nature you can do indoors. But yeah, I don't want to get on too much of a tangent on that, but it's important that there's a lot of guys in these groups, and they're retired, and they would love to. From what I've seen, they've given some pretty decent advice. Some of them do some wacky stuff, especially some of these other countries. But man, I like knowledge, and I'll listen to pretty much anybody's opinion, and I'll take the meat and discard the bones, because there's a lot of people out there that know what they're doing and are on the right path. But all right, I'm out of here. Mama's making spaghetti. Been doing her homemade bread today, and I got to get in the shower. I'm gonna chill out and relax, and we hope to get back to doing a couple of videos. I was some worm castings yesterday. I was going to put that up and show you all the rove beetles that was in the castings. And that's because we feed them our compost. But man, I probably a 3-gallon bucket, I had at least 20 or 30 little rove beetles running through. So that was pretty awesome. I tried to take a picture of it, but I got a crappy old phone that doesn't take the best picture. The phone itself's great, but the picture quality is poo-poo. Blurry as hell, and it doesn't help either when you got trimmers and little shakes and shit. But alright, we'll see you. Talk to you later.